The Central Bank of Kenya has called the country's headline interest rate sharply lower to 10.75% from 11.25% previous, looking to provide support for the economy that is trying to recover from the turmoil of 2024. The Dr. Kamau Tuji's Central Bank on Wednesday lowers its key rate as Kenya's inflation reads a tepid 2.8%. That's lower than the CBK's target range of 2% to 7.5%. Let's take excerpts from Dr. Tuji's post-MPC briefing.
The overall inflation remained below the midpoint of the 5 plus minus 2.5% in January 2025. The inflation rate increased in January 2025 mainly on account of a rise in non-core inflation due to seasonal factors. Core inflation remained low and stable, indicative of muted demand pressures, and the exchange rate stability has reduced imported inflation. Overall inflation is expected to remain below the midpoint of 5 plus minus 2.5% target range in the near term, and this will be supported by a low and stable core inflation, expected easing of energy prices, and a stable exchange rate. And the main risks to the inflation outlook relate to uncertainties in the evolution of international oil prices and the uncertainty of global geopolitical environment. Turning to the domestic economic performance and outlook, we have had to revise the growth for GDP in 2024 from the previous estimate of 5.1 to 4.6. Our estimate of agriculture continues to be strong both in 2024 and also in 2025, supported by favorable weather conditions, but also government programs such as the subsidizing of fertilizer. However, we see some challenges in the industrial sector. In 2024, for the first time in a very long time, we saw contraction in the construction sector in the second quarter and also in the third quarter. And therefore, we expect the industrial sector in 2024 to only grow by 0.4, just a very small increase. The services sector also slowed down in the first three quarters of the year compared to the year before, and therefore we are projecting services growth to be about 5.8%, and this is compared to 7% in the previous year of 2023 and also 2022. We also expect that the high interest rates during the course of the year did contribute to reduce credit to the private sector, and this also suppressed domestic production. And the combination of all these factors led us to revise the GDP growth to 4.6% in 2024. However, in 2025, we do expect a recovery and growth. We are projecting at 5.4%. And this is premised on continued resilience in agricultural production at 4.9% and a recovery in industry. And specifically, we expect a recovery in the construction sector to grow by 4.7% and also the services sector to increase from the 5.8% of last year to 6.3%. And this, again, is informed by the fact that we expect interest rates, commercial bank interest rates, to come down, and that should offer incentives for increased demand of credit by the private sector, and that should ultimately stimulate economic production, and the services sector should therefore do better this year than it did last year, when real interest rates were so high. Of course, we also expect the lower interest rates to stimulate construction in the private sector, and also we do expect now that the government will be able to spend more on development projects And that's why we have projected some recovery in the construction sector. This is a demonstration of what happened to credit to the private sector in some of the key sectors. And you can see in the manufacturing sector, credit from the banks declined from an increase of 23% in December of 2023. And there was a continuous decline in expansion of credit to the manufacturing sector.